This
Yes,
conference will now be recorded.
Kishorkumar Rajapurohit. Sir has completed his BMS from DGM AMC Gadag in 2009, and Sir has completed his PG from JMC Bangalore in Roganidana in the year 2014. So Sir has presented 5 international papers and 5 national papers. Sir has also received Best Paper Presentation Award from BHU and KLE colleges in the year 2015 and 2013. Sir has also completed his diploma in yoga from KUD Dharwad. Sir has also completed MA Sanskrit from Mysore University. Sir has also published 2 research journals in national level journals, conducted medical camps and blood donation camps in various areas. And Sir has also given health talks in TV9 and Suvarna News. Sir has also given guest lectures at Roan, Terdal, Bagalkot and Mundargi colleges. Sir has also worked as chairperson for the National Seminar on Ahara Mantana at Udupi. Sir has also written 2 books, namely Itihasa Made Easy and Sarala Samskritam Vakarna in the Sanskrit. So Sir has also organized national level seminar, that is Madhava 2020, on Mutrava Shroto Vikara in the month of February 2020. Other than medical professionals, Sir has also acted in 2 Kannada serials. Those are Ishwara Alla Nine Ella and Maniyondu Muru Bagi. And Sir is presently working as Associate Professor in the Department of Roganidana, Koppal College, Karnataka. So with this brief introduction, I welcome you for the lecture, sir. I request you to continue with the
Thank you.
session.
Thank God. Thank you. Madam, shall I start?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
प्रणम्य जगदुत्पत्तिस्थितिसंहारकारणं स्वर्गापवर्गयोर्द्वारं त्रैलोक्यशरणं शिवं नानामुनीनां वचनैरिदानीं समासतः यो सद्भिषजां नियोगात् स उपद्रव अरिष्णदानलिङ्गो विसर्जति यो इदं समासतः रागादिरोगान् सततानुशक्तान् अशेषकायः प्रसृतानशेषान् औत्सुक्यमोहान् अर्तिदान् जघान यो अपूर्ववैद्याय नमोऽस्तु तस्मै. Humble pranamas to His Holiness Sweet Jagadguru Abhinava Gaushideshwara Mahaswamiji, respected Principal Sir of esteemed institution SJGAMC Medical College, Head of the Department of Roganidana Dr. Samir Nayak Sir, and other department staffs, and my dear friend Dr. Adivesh, and other staff members of the esteemed institution, and dearmost students who are a Venjaka Hetu of this today's webinar. Madam, PPT is visible, no, madam? Hello?
Sir?
PPT visible, no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we all know very conceptual and scientific presentation or the Srotas has been given to me. I give my maximum justice to the today's session with the blessings of my teacher, presenting whatever the teachers taught me and what the knowledge I have gained from my practice and my teaching with the students. Thank you. Ayurveda is a scientific understanding of holistic life. Generally, whenever we say the Ayurveda is a science of life, but we can add one extra word. So, Ayurveda is a scientific understanding of holistic life. The word meaning of holistic is a sampurna, samagra, which can be compared with the yat pinde, tat brahmande, yat brahmande, tat pinde. Whatever there is in brahmanda, that is everything is mimicking in pindanda. Whatever there is in pindanda, that is everything is acceptable by the brahmanda. So with the coherent cohabitation with the dosha, dhatu and mala, with the manas, a person can be stated as a swastha. See the word we studied is samadoshaha, samagnishtya, samadhatu, malakriyaha, prasannatmendriyamanaha swastha ityabhidiyate. The word meaning of sama is coherent cohabitation. Then only the dosha dhatu mala manas along with atma prasannata will be observed in case of swasthata. The best ayana to know about Swastha and Atura. We studied in Jarga Sutrasthana, first chapter. Hetu Linga Aushadajnanam Swasthatura Parayanam. So best ayana. Ayana is a marga. Ayana is a pantha. Ayana is a srotas. The best srotas to know about Swastha and Atura is Hetu, Linga and Aushadha. So among 100% knowledge, the Hetu and Linga, among those three, the Hetu and Linga are exclusively meant for Roganidana. The only Aushadha Skanda is for Kaya Chikitsa and for Panchakarma and other practicing peoples. So doshas always waiting for Nidana to undergo Vriddhi and Kshaya by Nidana Sevana, that is representing through different. So we are having different sorts of srotas. It may be Sankhya srotas and Asankhya srotas that can be exhibited in upcoming slides. We studied Dosha Dhatu Mala Moolam Hi Shariram. The word meaning of Hi Sharira indicates the very specifically the Sharir is the made up of Dosha Dhatu only. Same fashion, Sroto Mayam Hi Shariram. The Sharir is also a comprehensive factory of Srotas. From hair root to the gastrointestinal tract or to the CNS, everything is Srotomayam Hi Shariram. That's why Sroto hi eva dosha dhatu mala vahakam. The Srotas is the condition where it is having capacity to do vahana. It is act as a vector for dosha, for dhatu and mala and manas also, as per Gangadhara commentary. So Srotas acting as a vahaka, as a mediator, as a marga, as a pathway, as a pantha, as a marga for the purpose of dosha sravana, for the purpose of dhatu nourishment, for mala nisarana, and for manas to circulate all over the body. So we are living in the solar system with 9 planets which are under control by the sun. Yet Brahmande, when you go to the Pindanda, the body is undergoing a very beautiful treatment called as ECMO, extra corporeal membranous oxygenation, where whatever the oxygen is present outside the body, it has to be enriching to the Sharira. And these two are God made, and the below, which is having one factory that is related to car, that is exclusively man made or the human made. So this is all Srotas. If among nine planets, if you remove one planet, there will be equilibrium will be hampered, the imbalance of the planet. The same fashion, in one among this human body, if one Srotas is not working properly, whole body is affecting. That's why the Vyadhi definition is said, Vividham Dukkham Adadaditi Vyadhihi. The different sorts of pain has going to be presented by the patient suffering from the different pain manifestation. Same fashion, if a four-wheeler factory is present, if a single wheel is punctured, the car can't be run properly. If motor is not running, the car can't run properly. The engine is off, you can't start the car properly. So what best we can deny? This Srotas is not good. What best we can accept? This Srotas is very best. It is not like that. So Srotomayam hi shariram. Each and every Srotas, each and every part of the body, each and every cell of the body is very important for the Sharira. That's why Srotomayam hi shariram. Doshadhatu malamulam hi shariram. Sroto hi eva dosha dhatu mala manavahakam. A machine is any physical system with ordered structural and functional properties. The term generally applied to the artificial devices. Generally, our body is also machine when there is no soul in our body. The same fashion, machine use power to apply forces and control moment to perform any action. We study in case of physics and all, range of motions, range of movement of the machine, etc. Same fashion, Srotas is also an anatomico-physiological machine with the coherent cohabitation. It requires some coherency. It requires some cohabitation to live with each other. Then only we can able to control our whole body activities. So with the structural and functional properties, it provides some structure to the Sharira. It provides some function to the Sharira. That's why natural biological macromolecules will be observed. Acharya has very clearly found. That's why they said Hetuskanda, Lingaskandas are very important for the understanding of Ayurveda. what yesterday guest has been observed. Srotas also having their own mean of power to undergo transformation, transportation, and nourishment. Because the Srotas is Sravana Srotamsi, to ooze something, to give something, to carry something, to nurture something. That's why Srotas also having their own mean of power to undergo transformation. It gives place for the transformation, acts as a transporting media, and nurtures the relative dhatus respectively. So we start with the introduction. The Acharya Dalhana Dasa Pandita very clearly mentioned Khani Srotamsi or Srotamsi Chidrani. Srotasas leke Khani. Kh you studied in case of Dravaguna, in case of Padartha Vigyana paper 1. Khani Srotamsi. Khadinyatmo Manaha Kaladeshis Dravya Sangraha. Including the Kh, there are n number of gunas are available with our body. Same fashion the Brahmanda also. Khadinyatma manaha kaladesi dravya sangraha. Srotamsi, Chidrani. There are n number of multiple pores are present in the Sharira. Asankhya Srotasas are available. The Srotas means, according to Dasa Pandita and Dalanacharya, aperture or a channel. Our Shastra accept that the body is made up of Asankhya Srotas, innumerable, unaccountable. And they carry Ahara Rasa, they carry Rakta, they carry Vata Pitta Kapha doshas from one place to other place in Avyahata Rupa. That's why Avyahata Gatirvayuhu, the Vata is always Avyahata in, we studied. Vyanena Rasadhaturihi Vikshepa Uchita Karmana. The Vyana Vata is carries the Rasadhatu along with Rasadhatuhi Vikshepa Uchita Karmana. Uchita means specific functions are been provided for Rasa Rakta Mamsa Meda Astya Majja Shukras. For what purpose? Yugapat Sarva Ajasram, to continue continuous nurturing of the Sharira. Dehe Vikshipate Sada. There is a constant nurturing of the Sharira must be attained by the observation. That's why the Srotasas are the anatomico physiological entity that will be observing continuously. So this will very clearly mentioned in Janaka Vimanasthan, 5th chapter, 3rd shloka. Yavantaha Purusho Murtimanto Bhavavesheshaha Tavantaha Evasmin Srutam Prakara Visheshaha Bhavanti. How the external presentation, same fashion inside the presentation. Sarvehi Bhava Purushenantarena Srutamsi Abhinivartati Bhavam Avyagachati. So this is the presentation of Acharya is very clearly observed.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, slide change ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ sir.
Is it not changing, madam?
Sir, sir. It's a second. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now you have changed, sir. Okay, thank you, sir.
It's changed, madam, already. That's what I'm asking. Now state is Sroto Lakshana, no, madam?
Sir, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sroto Lakshana.
Sroto Lakshana, we have studied Mulat Khadantaram Dehe Prasratam tu Abhivahiyat Srotas Taditi Vidneyam Sira Dhamani Vachitam. In Shushruta Sharira, he wants to express that the Srotas are different from Sira and Dhamani on the basis of functional entity, not the structural entity. Srotas is the total space which extends in the body from the origin which carries or produce various things, including some essential nutrients too. We know that we are always require iron for hemoglobin formation. Every day, individual can't take iron. That's why our liver is having capacity to store the iron and to reuse the iron, which is broken in case of spleen during the breakdown of the hemolysis. That's why Srotas is the total space which extends in the body from the origin which carries or produce various things, including some essential nutrients. So these macro and micro Srotasas are devoid of Sira and Dhamani. Why? Because only to differentiate the carrying system. Other than that, the Srotas, the Sira and Dhamanis are one and the same. Sroto Nirukti, Sru Gato Dhatu. Sru means Sravana, to secrete, and Gato means to Gati, to move. Swato Ambusaranam, the movement of the liquid material. The transformation of the solid is very difficult, except in case of Annamaha Srotas. In all the way, the maximum transformation of the Srotas will be done in case of liquid media only. Swato Ambu Saranam. Ambu means Jaliya Padartha. That's why whenever we start counting the Pramana, we are first and foremost quantity is Jala or Ambu. This is Dashanjalayaha, Rasa, Navanjalayaha. Like that we start goes on decreasing. Shukra will become Ardhanjali Pramana. Vegena Jalavahanam. To move something, it requires some pace, some energy. So movement of liquid with maximum pace. Swataha Swayam Ambuna Saranam Gamanam. The Srotas having capacity to move itself with maximum strength. Swayam Ambuna Saranam Miti Gamanam. Then Akritrima Jalavahanam. Akritrima, which is not formed by man, an innate movement of a liquid state. Sravanat Srotamsi. The tubes where oozing occurs. The last one we studied in case of Kriya Sharira and Rachana Sharira. Sravanat Srotamsi. The tubes or the channels or the pathway where the ooze. Prior to this, it will having Srugato Dhatu to Sravana or to Gati. Swataha Swato Ambusaranam having capacity to liquid medium of transportation. Vegena Jalavahan having capacity with maximum force or pace. Swataha Swayam Ambuna Saranam Gamanam, which involves in itself to transport in the form of Jalarupa, Akritrima Jalavahanam, and innate specific functions attributed for the Srotas.
Sir, sorry to disturb you, sir. Sir, again slides are not changing, sir. It's sixth slide only running, sir. Seventh and sir. Sir, slide share ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ, sir. That is just left to that of yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right, sir.
Now it's don't know why it is not.
Eighth slide is running, sir. Now, sir, click
no,
on that, sir. Your
once
cursor
you see,
is
madam,
on.
is it changing? No, madam.
Sir, now eighth slide is running, sir. Actually, along with the explanation, you have to just change the slide, sir.
No, I was changing, madam, but I don't know. Now it is synonyms are not there, madam.
Slide share option is there, sir. Just left to that volume.
No. I did,
Take your
madam.
cursor, sir.
Is
Towards
there?
the right side, sir. Right side corner, whatever that 68% is showing, sir. Just
Yeah,
left
I
hand,
did, madam,
sir.
actually.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right, sir.
No, that only I did, madam. I don't know why. Yes. Now it is Sravanat Rasadehe Eva Poshasya Sravanat is there, madam.
No, sir. Ninth slide. Synonyms is there, sir. Srotamsi Siraha Damanyaha Rasayanya.
Something is.
Sravanat Rasade.
Let
Eighth
it be,
slide
madam.
is.
I will like this.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Sravanat Rasadehe Eva Poshasya Sravanat. So generally, the word meaning of Sravana is to, for what purpose Acharya is very clearly mentioning Sravanat Rasadehe Eva Poshasya Sravana. The Chakrapani commentary is to nurture the Rasadi Dhatu with their own Poshaka Bhavas. Sravana to ooze, Srotas is a media to transfer nutrients and to nurture the Dosha Dhatu Malas. So the structure or space which secrete, which moves, which nurtures and which regulate the movement of Dosha, Dhatu, Mala and Manas is called Srotas. The passages through which metabolites are transported is called the Srotas. Synonyms of Srotas are Sravanat Srotamsi, Sravanaditi, Poshasya Sravanat, Dhamani, Dhamanat, Puranat, Rasadi Dhatuhu, Stira, Saranat, Siraha, Deshantara Gamanat. So they want to express that the Srotas, the Dhamani, the Sira are having capacity to transfer, to nurture, and to regulate the functional entity of Rasa, Rakta, Adi Dhatus. That's why they given the name on the basis of Srotamsi, Siraha, Dhamanyaha, Rasayanyaha, Rasavahinyaha, Nadyaha, Panthanaha, Margaha, Sharira Chidrani, Samvratani, Asamvratani. These are called as Margaga Srotasas. Then Sthanani, Ashayani, Niketascha, Sharira Dhatava, Avakashanam, Laksha, Alakshana. Countable, unaccountable, innumerable. Or Ashayastha Srotasas or Sthanastha Srotasas. That's why the Margaga Srotasas are Dhavanivihi Gachantaha iti. The Srotasas of the Margas are always nurturing towards the Dhamani. Dhamanibhi gacchanta, they always carried through dhamanis towards the target organ oriented organs like Srotas, the Sira, the Dhamani, the Rasayanyaha, Rasavahinyaha, Kulyaha, Nadyaha, Panta, so and so. The sthanasa srotasas are the condition where they always carry the ashayasthas. So sthanani, the places, ashaya, the organs, niketascha, the space, sharira dhatava avakashanam, they provide some hollow spaces, lakshya, alakshana. We'll discuss the further condition. So you can see the synonyms are identified by their functions, what they carry to their structural entity. So the sira means vein, the dhamani means arteries, the rasayani means lymphatics, the nadi means tubular conducts, the pantha means passages, the sthana means sites or locus, the ashayas repositors, the niketas results. Whenever we go to the different holidays where there, we'll go to the result. What is the meaning of result? It's having maximum space. So niketa, marga, the pathway or the tract, samvrita, asamvrita, the open navachidras, the open, then the blind closed passages, sharira chidrani, body orifices are the openings. That's why the word srotas is used generally, the term including for all macro and micro channels, tubes. So many sthula srotas are also named after their specific functions which are identified. Then how to identify these srotas are sthanastha and margaga srotas. Among them, Acharya is very clearly specifying that yasya srotamsi yadhadati tirthaha. The srotas which are having capacity to carry rasa rakta mamsa meda. Margaga srotas are the condition where yasya vahanti iti rasadi vahanti ityarthaha. The srotas which are having capacity to vahana, the srotas having capacity to vahana, to carry different sorts of condition, rasadi bhavas. Here, rasa, rakta, udaka, sweda, mutra through arteries, the prana, anna, mutra, and purisha through channels. See, the first line artery they show, those are essential for the filtration, and the prana, anna, udaka are very important for the life, and mutra and purisha to expel it out. That is called as margaga srotasas. Then pupusa, unduka, and hridaya act as a sthanastha srotasas. Then vyalena rasadhaturihi vikshepochita karmana act as a margaga srotasas. Yacha vahanti, it carries mamsadi remaining dhatu along with upadhatu and ojas. Then avasthitan iti, which is stays, avasthita, avasthikam stays, mamsade sambandha. So rasarakta mamsa, rasarakta udaka sweda mutra kleda, the capillary bed will also having capacity for the formation. That's why he says in case of Takrapani commentary, yasya hi srotamse yad ghatati tyarthaha, yasya hi srotamse yad vahati yad rasadi vahanti yad yach avahanti iti pushyanti ityarthaha mamsadahu sambandham ityarthaha. So this is related to the nurturing, the transportating and transformating itself towards the different sorts of target tissues. It is very important quotation for the first year and second year up to the practice. So Srutamsi Khalu Parinam Apadyamananam Dhatuna Bibhavayini Bhavanti Ayanarthena. Parinama, to undergo some change. We studied there are three Mula Karana for the disease. One is Pradnyaparadha, Parinama, Asatmendriyartha Sanyoga. So Parinama to transform, to undergo some change. Abhivahini to circulate, to transport and to nurture. So during Agni Vyapara, we receive Prasada and Kitta Bhaga. The Prasada Bhuta Rasa has to undergo Parinama to nurture respective Dhatu and Uttarottara Dhatu by transforming and transporting the tissues or the essential materials. That's why if one interprets in Mahabharata, there is a statement that if one interprets the Srota as a receptor channel mechanisms, the area of molecular biology opens up in different possibilities to explain how Srotas can be specific to tissue, how it can be modified by physiological and pathological processes, and how it can be influenced by other tissues too. That's why Srotasas are the conglomeration with the Sharira always. The base of all Srotamsi is the Mahasrotas, which serve as the pathway for Pranavayu. Pranavayu is not only for oxygen, it also acts as a glucose. Without glucose, person can't survive for more than 3 days. Generally. Then apadyamananam dhatonam. See the word meaning of apadyamananam iti purva rasadi रूपता परित्यागेन उत्तरोत्तर रक्तादि रूपताम आपद्यमानानाम. Once when the journey is started from Belagavi to Bengaluru, you have to leave Belagavi first, then you come to Dharwad, then you come to Hubli, then you go to Davangere, then you go to Chitradurga, then you go to Tumkuru, then you go to Bengaluru. This is the pathway how we are having to reach the Shukra. So Belagavi acting as Rasadhatu, Purva Rasade Rupa Parityagena. To reach Shukra, you should leave Belagami, you should leave Rasadhatu. To reach Shukra, you should leave Dharwad as a Rakta, you should leave Hubli. So different areas must be transported as the Purva Rasadi Rupa Parityagena Uttarottaram Raktadi Rupata Apadyamananamiti Pakshante. Then this is Dhatu Dharanatiti. Sthai Dhatu we have as a Posha, as stagnant entity, and Asthai Dhatu we have as a Poshaka, as a movement. Always it is moving, transporting, which has to transport or transform completely, which is under process. Whenever we go to the port, immediately it won't get port. It requires 2 or 3 days of transporting. What they say? Porting, transporting. It will take some time to change the network. Same fashion, asthai dhatus are required to complete transport in other system or in other form of the dhatu. Next, the dosha, which transport for the dosha is the sharirika and manasika doshas. Those are also nurtured. The sattva, raja, tama, rasa to shukra and upadhatu get also nurtured. Ahara as a prana, as anna and udaka is also nurturing continuously. And mala, the mala, mutra and purisha, even though they considered as waste products, that has to be releasing from the body, because if waste products are sustained, they cause different types of disorders. अभिवाहिनी भवन्ति अयनार्थेन. द अयनार्थेन इति वचनात् न स्थिराणां धातूनाम् अभिवाहिनी भवन्ति स्रोतांसि. So abhivahini bhavanti ayanarthena. The word meaning of ayana is to transport, to release, and to secrete very important chemical agents for the further proceedings of the functional entities. This is how the srotas can be appreciated. Srotas, not only those srotas we are having, mana as a srotas, prana as a srotas, anna as a srotas, pani as a srotas, dosha as a srotas, dhatu as a srotas, upadhatu as a srotas, dhatu mala as a srotas, mutra as a srotas, purisha as a srotas. This is a wonderful reference from Bhavaprakasha Purvakhanda, 3rd chapter 272 quotation. The Swarupa of srotas we studied. Subhavatah khani mrinaleshu beseshu. Srutha very clearly open the difference between srotas and dhatu, but still it differs accordingly function. Dhamaninam tatha khanihi rasaur ei upachiyate. Srotas are extreme fine passages and pores through which rasadi posha gunas circulates and provide nourishment towards the dhatu. So dhatu are always taking shelter, are a part and parcel of srotas only. As per Charaka and Ashtanga Samhita, in Dutika, there is no difference between srotas and dhatu because of they possess sushirata, place or the space. Sushruta and Dalhanacharya opines difference of srotas and dhatu because of Vyanjananyatvat, Mula Sanyatat, Karma Vairoshityat, and Agamat. Because of these 4 factors, the dhatu and the srotas are differs in its structure and functionally. Srotas present in the dhatus are Sukshma, Swadhatu, Samavarna, Vritta, Sthula, Anu, Dirgha, resembles like a pratana, just like a leaf. When the leaf become utmost dry, when you take into the light, how the number of webs we are observing, same fashion, the srotas are also embedded in a one Mahasrotas. The Sukshma and Sthula nurtures and supports each other by structurally and functionally with their supporting natures. Srotas is not just a passage or a space, it has its own selective functions to transport and transfer and to nurture continuously. Yes, Purushana Srotasas. So अपि च एके श्रुतसामेव समुदयं पुरुषमिच्छन्ति सर्वगतत्वात् सर्वसरत्वाच्च दोषप्रकोपणप्रशमनानाम्. So the Purusha is samudaya, the conglomeration. Always Purusha is Sanghajivi, Samudaya Jivi, wants to live with the society. Sarvagatatvat. Srotas are pervasive in nature. It goes each and every minute structure to the body. Sarva Saratvat. The sarana of the dosha, dhatu, mala throughout the body. There is no stoppage, there is avyatagati, continuous process of movement. The dosha prakopana and prashamana will always attributing by the body, by the nidana sevana, what patient has, person is going to be take continuous nidanas or ahara viharas. Then Srotas karma, on the basis of functions, they have attributed the circulation, the movement, the secretion, the absorption, the filtration, the transportation, the transformation. The circulation acts as a blood. The movement acts as a peristaltic movements. The secretion, what the juices are secreting from the GIT. The absorption in the microvilli of the intestine. The filtration, the kidney, the transportation. The digested materials are transported to the body, and the transformation, which is combustion, it takes place in case of mitochondria. These all our functions are going to be happening by the srotas in their system. So ayanarthena ativachana itivachanat na sthiranam dhatunam abhivahini bhavanti kintu deshantara pranena abhivahini. It is having capacity to transfer the prana, the life, to all over the body with the circulation, with the movement, with the secretion, with the absorption, with the filtration, and the transporting the media to transform in its different structural entities. In Srotobheda, we have Sankhya, that is countable, Asankhya, innumerable, Sthula, which are Drishya, Laksha Srotasis, which are gross in structure, Sukshma, Adrishya, and Alaksha Srotasis, subtle in nature, Sukshma Srotasis, Antarmukhi Srotasis 9 plus 2, we have Bahirmukha Srotasis 13 by Zaraka, 11 by Susruta, 11 pairs by Susruta, and Sthanastha and Marga Srotasis for the nourishment. Apart from these, the other Vahakas, other Vahana identified in different Samhitas, different scattered references like Manovaha in case of Unmada and Apasmara, Vakvaha in case of Ashtang Hradaya Vativyadhinidana, Shabdavaha in case of our deaf, in case of Swaravaha, Samjnavaha, and Vojovaha. These all are Srotasas. Others will also attribute in the classification purpose. So, Manovaha Dushti, Vakvaha Dushti, Shabdavaha Dushti, Swaravaha Dushti, Samjnavaha Dushti, and Vojovaha Dushti always attributes to cause different sorts of disorders. Then, how many kinds of diseases we have? One is Sharirika dosha and Mansika dosha. To manifest disease, what we required? Nidana, dosha, and doshya. We studied in case of Prameha, fourth chapter of Sarkanidana, third sloka. Iha khalu nidana, dosha, dushya, visheshebhyo, vikara vighata bhava, vikara vighata abhava, prativishesha bhavanti. It is exclusively dependent on vikara vighata bhava and abhava. If person has Khavaigunna is present, he is having vikara vighata bhava, then there is no disease of manifestation. Why? Because the immunity will be taken out, whatever the disease has going to be manifest. If Khavaigunna is present, person is having vikara vighata abhava, lack of immunity, then there is a manifestation of disease will be taken place. Among family members, some suffering with the typhoid. So all there is no rule that all should suffer with typhoid. Occasionally they may suffer, but that is exclusively dependent on immunity. That's why this is Purusham Viksha. Always the immunity differs from person to person, and it is always attributing maximum influence towards the body. If there is no Kha Vaigunya, the Vrdha dosha undergo Sanchaya, Prakopa, Prashamana, but not Prasarana, according to Rutu Kriya Kala. You studied the Rutu Kriya Kala very clearly. Vayoho Grismadasutrishu, Varshadisut Pittasya, Shleshvanaha, Shishradishu, Sanjaya Prakopa Prashama. Why? This is the continuous process. There is no rule that person never take Nidana, which are Vata Vriddhi, Pitta Vriddhi, Kapha Vriddhi. Regularly we are taking Nidana, but every time we won't get disorders. Why? Because of we are having maximum good immunity. To when there is a very minimal attribution towards the Khavaigunya, the doshas are always waiting for Khavaigunya. Yatra Sangha Khavaigunyat. Manifestation of Vyadi very immediately. Vyadi Statropajayate. Very clear explanation by Acharya Susruta in Vyadi Samuddeshi Adhyaya. So, Khavaigunya very clearly explains. So, Khani Srotamsi, Srotamsi Chitrani, the Vaigunya vitiation. So, Khani, the Chidra, the Sushirata, or the Akashi Mahabhuta. Kha Vaigunyaditi, Sroto Vaigunyadityarthaha. In the Lana commentary. So, the name is given for the what is the content or what is the context of the sloka. Kupitanahami doshanam sharire paridhavatam yatta sangha kha vaigunyat vadis tattva prajayate iti is vyadhi nanatva karana. Why there is a manifestation of diseases takes place in different place by different nidana. Vyadhi nanatva karana. Karana means reason. Nanatva is different. Vyadhi is disease. So different disease. What is the cause for formation of different diseases in different places? So this is Vyadhi Nanatva Karanam. So that's why Acharya Sarka specifies Ashiti Vata Vikaras, 80 Vata Vikaras has been told. Why? Because dependent on Yatra Sangha Kha Vaigunyat. Same Vata dosha comes and settles in Sandhi Pradesha. It use Sandhigata Vata, it use Manyastambha, it use Katigraham, it use Katishulam. So Yatra Sangha Kha Vaigunyat, the name Samuthana Visheshataha. Where the samsthanam samuthana, where the space and the where is the collectionas, that is dependent on Kha Vaigunya. That's why Kha Vaigunyat iti Sroto Vaigunya. The Kha means Srotas, the Kha means Chidra, the Kha means Srotamsi. Yatra Sangha Kha Vaigunyat Vyadis Tatro Pajayate. So this is the definition told by Susruta, Vyadhi Nanatva Karana. Why there is a manifestation of disease according to different reasons. The dushti of the dosha, these dushti of these srotas will leads to vitiation of dhatu, that is margaga and sthanastha dhatu. The dushta tridosha moving in all the margaga dhatu with sanchaya prakopa avastha. Once the dosha found that dhatu are daurbala, they enter prasara in nature and they take sthana samsriya by doing the dushti repeatedly, by overcoming the dhatvagni, and leads to Srotodushti, causes Vyadhi according to Sthana and Nidana Sthana, Nidana, Dosha's strength. Because always Doshas needs Nidana, Bhuyo Hetu Pratikshanaha. Individual Agni having their own specific strength to produce different sorts of clinical presentation. Rasagni, Saptadhata Agni, each and every Sara, Sara means strength. The purest forms of dhatu will always attribute the strongest person in the body. The Prakupita Tridosha takes Sthana Samshraya in Saptadhatu, Upadhatu, Trimala, and Manas. So causes different sorts of disorders. So how to difference Kha Vaigunya and Srotodushti? The Kha Vaigunya is a Dhatuvagni Dushti. Srotodushti is a Dhatu Hani. Kha Vaigunya is Sthanika Sroto Karma Veshamya. Srotodushti is complete Srotodushti, Sroto Vishamata. The Kha Vaigunya is Prarambhavastha or initial stage, may resolve as early as possible if person stops the Nidana Sevana. In Srotodushti, it is Uttarottara Avastha, has to take place in Sanchaya, Sthana Samshraya, Vyakti and Bhedavastha. Nidana Sevana and dosha involvement is very important in Kha Vaigunya. In Srotodushti, Nidana important, dosha is important, and dosha will also play very important for the alteration. In Khavayoguni, Rutukriyakala generally Sanchaya, Prakopa and Prashamana immediately. If when undergoes Prasara, there will be Sanchaya, Prakopa, Prasara, Sthana Samsraya. Vyakti Veda will be observed very clear. In Khavayoguni, there is a functional arrangement. In Srotodushti, there is structural defect. In Khavayoguni, there is a malabsorption, Grahani dosha. Salaulya Lavate Shigram, Grahani doshajan Gadan. Grahani dosha, that is a malabsorption or irritable bowel syndrome. The Grahani Roga is defect in the Grahani absorptive capacity. That is colitis or Crohn's disease. Inflammatory bowel disorders. That is Grahani Gada. Grahani doshajan Gadan. Kashtashwasa or Kritsrashwasa Kritsrata is a Khavaygunya. It may be mimics in the form of Pandu, Raktakana Kshaya, Kasa, Pratighata, Shwasa, Margagamana, Stholya as a Avarana. The different pathology lying, Samprapti is lying in Srotodushti, but the prior to the incubation period as a Khavaygunya. In Khavaygunya, we require Dosha Pratyaniga Chikitsa. In Srotodushti, we require Vyadhi Pratyaniga Chikitsa. This is how we can differentiate the Khavaygunya and Srotodushti. Charaka Chikitsa very clearly explains that Vividhani Annapanani Vaishamyena Samashtataha Janayanti Amayan Ghoran Vishaman Marutadayaha Srotamsi Rudhiradeyanam Vaishamyat Vishamam Gataha Rudhva Rogaya Kalpante Pushyanti Dhatavaha. Charaka Chikitsa Rajakshma Chikitsa Adhyaya. Due to Vishamata of Rasadi, we should not consider this only meant for Raja Yakshma, it is for all the rogas or persons. Due to Vishamata of Rasadi Dhatu by Prakupita dosha, as a result of Ama dosha, forms and blocks the Margaga and Sthanastha Dhatu. The Ama functions are like to block only. Drava Guru Anekavarnaha Hetuhu Sarvaroganam Snigdam Pichilam Amam Tantumat Anubaddha Sholam, always blocking in nature generally. So thus manifests the different sorts of products generally what we are appreciating in clinical. Produces Srotodushti, Srotorodha, and finally forms the disease manifestation. Then why Srotodushti will occurs? Nidana Sevana, Doshadushti, Dhatu Pradushana, Rutu Anusara happens, Dhatu Dosha Prashana, Roga Prashamana will take place. Or else Rutu Viparita occurs, there is a Prasara will undergo, leads to Roga manifestation. So we are having four basic karana for Srotodushti: Aharascha, Viharascha, Yahasya Doshagunes Samaha, Dhatubhi Vigunaschapi, Srotosam Sapradoshakaha. Generally, Acharya has very clearly explained that these are the only four reasons to manifest the diseases in the Sharira. One is Doshaguna Sama, Ahara, Aharacha, Viharacha. Yahasyat Doshagunes Samaha. We know Tatra Roksho, Lugushitaha, Kharaha, Sukshmaha, Chala, Anilaha. The are the qualities of Vata. If person exposes Vatakara Ahara, Vata Vridhikara Ahara. If person does Vata Vridhi Nidana, like Ati Gamana, Ati Plavana, Ati Hasya, Ati Bhashya, Ati Vyavaya, acts as a Dosha Guna Sama. Vihara karmas. Then Dhatu Guna Vaigunya Ahara, Dhatu Vaigunya Vihara. So Dhatu Vaigunya means Dhatu Virodhaka Ahara and Vihara, not the food what we take which won't nurtures the Dhatu properly. Best example is we have tobacco and gutka. We have Madhya. We have two options in the Ayurveda. One is Madhya and one is Ojas. You study in the case of Ashtanga Hridaya, the Madhya and Ojas are exactly dead opposite. If Madhya is taken, there is a decrease in the Ojas automatically. Same person, Nidra is also best for the health and Nidra is also worst for the Sharira. Nidrayatam Sukham Dukkham Pushtim Karshyam Balabalam. So it acts as a Dhatu Vairodhika Vihara, Nidra. When a person takes Divaswapna, there is a Kaphavriddhi, there is a Avarana, leads to Sthaulya. When a person takes Anidra, there is a not formation of proper testicular functions leads to klebya. Varshata, klebata. Klebya will be operating because of nidra. That's why. And nidra is also causative factor for rasakshaya. Rasapradosha vikara is klebya. Klebya sadaha krishangata. This is how dhatu vairodhika vihara will be observed. But Gangadhara Tika expresses that there is no dhatu viguna ahara. There is a rutu viguna ahara. Rather than dhatu viguna, he observed rutu viguna. So aharascha viharascha yahasya doshagunai samaha rutu bihi vigunaschapi srotasam dushti lakshanam. These are the karana for Srotodushti by ahara vihara as dosha, ahara vihara as rutu viparita. Then only there is a manifestation of disease will be taken place. So dhatu viguna ahara, dhatu viguna vihara, or rutu viguna ahara, rutu viguna vihara. How we can be expresses? So dhatu viguna ahara is a condition where there is a pradhanika hetu. So in case of kavakrita sarvam, prameha hetu acting as a dhatu viguna ahara. See, when you go to the Kerala, they will use maximum tapioca called as sihigenasu or maragenasu. So they will take more excess amount of sugar content food, that is. So it is directly attributing maximum glucose level in the blood. Dhatu bihi vigunaschapi. And dhatu viguna vihara acts as a pradhanika hetu during abhigata, raktasrava and bhagna. Best example for pakshaghata, example for coma and for fracture. This is called dhatu viguna vihara. Then rutu vaigunya ahara, rutu vaigunya vihara. On rutu sandhi ahara vihara, if person not performing properly. And we all know that from the Ashadha Masa to the Kartika, we have to follow some proper Chaturmasa niyama, so that there is no proper vitiation of Agni, because we know the Agni is always declined in those 4 months. The festival celebration which is told accordingly, those are also meant for Agni Vikriti. To maintain proper Agni, we have to follow some Sangramana, Yugadi, Nagapanchami, Dasara, Deepavali for the Rutu Sandhi, for the purpose of health, maintain the proper health in the Sharira. So that's why when the Nidana, the term comes Viruddha Bhojana, Ashuchi Bhojana, Sandushta Bhojana, Vidahi Bhojana, Garamishita Bhojana, Asatmya Bhojana, Ajirne Bhojana, Vishamashana, Atimatra Bhojana, Dushta Bhojana, Akala Bhojana, Viruddhahara Sevana, Viruddha Vihara, Ashuchi Vihara, Vidahi Vihara, exposing to poisonous airs, Gara Vihara, unacceptable places, wandering, Ajirne Vyayama, Vishama Asana, Vishama Shayana, Ati Atapa Sevana, Ati Vayu Sevana, Ati Jala Viharana, Akala Vihara, like Divaswapna, Ratri Jagarana, will also continuously attributing n number of Nidana. If you list in case of Roganidana, we will get different sorts of Nidana, which is attributing for the manifestation of disease generally. Then we have Srotodushti Prakara, Atipravritti Sangova, Siranam Granthayopiva, Vimarga Gamanaschapi, Srotasam Dushti Lakshanam. So we well versed with this sloka when second year of BMS was started. Atipravritti, Sangha, Siragranthi, and Vimarga Gamana. These are the 4 basics karana for manifestation of diseases. So atipravritti, atishayena pravritti. Example is prameha. Prameham prakarshena prachuram varam mutrayati. The continuous flow of the urine. Sangha is apravritti, vibandha. Patient unable to pass the stool properly is a vibandha. Siranam granthi, srutasam kudili bhavaha. There is a arshas or Chakrapani commentaries dhamani pratichayam. Then the Vimarga Gamana, what they specify is Swamarga Munjitva Margantara Sadanam. The doshas will leave their own place and they go to their different doshik place. It is called Swamarga Munjitva. It is called Shakashata Kamala. So these are the 4 basics karana to manifest as those Srotodushti Prakara. How this can be classified in those 4 categories. hyper functions of Srotas atipravritti, hypofunction or obstructed functions of Srotas apravritti or Sangha, glandular growth in the tissue, Seranam Granthi, flow other than its own channel, that is called as Vimargamana, considered as fourth dushti of the Srotodushti Lakshanas. But if you read Gangadhara Tika, he will give a wonderful definition compared to Srutasam Dushti Lakshanam. Then what we can say Siranam Granthi? So is the word uses Sira in generally. So the Sira is synonym for Srotas. We studied the Sira, the Pantha, the Nadi, the Marga, the Ayana, the Rasahinyaha, the Saravahinyaha, everything. So we have to understand as per Gangadhara Tika is Siranam used as a Bahuvachana. So Siranam Granthi, Siranam Atipravritti, Siranam Sangaha, Siranam Vibargamana. The word meaning of Sira is Srutosam Atipravritti. The word meaning of Sira is Srutosam Sangaha. The word meaning of Sira is Srutosam Granthi. The word meaning of Sira is Srutosam Vibargamana. So Siranam Atipravritti, Siranam Sangha, Siranam Granthi, Siranam Vimargamana to be considered as a classification. So Atipravritti as Atisara, Sangha as Udara or Jvara, Granthi as Vridhi, as Antravriddhi, Vimargamana as Rakta Pitta and Bhagandara. Samargam Jitva, it will go to other places to manifest a number of disorders. Udavarta also. Then Sroto Vaigunya, these four presentation of pathological aspect can be identified in body as it may be Sthula and Sushma Srotasis. Srotodushti is a main route for all pathological variants. They always disturb the Srotas, Dhatu and Agni. It may be Pachaka Agni or Dhatva Agni. Due to sthana samshraya in various srotas by dushta dosha always gives new disease. That's why Acharya says about anukta vyadhi. Yatha there is no specific name is given by the Acharya. Apart from this, we can think accordingly, which is samuthana, vyanjana, lakshana, which is dependent on the place, dependent on the lakshana, dependent on the nidana, everything. The new diseases are going to emerge out as per the disease will take place in sthana samshraya and the nidanas are going to be attributing. So we have nanatmaja vikara, we have sahaja vyadis and we have anukta vyadis too. Then the word Siranam Granthi, there is a direct reference in case of Charaka Samhita that Srutasam Upalepa, Siranam Upaleta. So when you go to Charaka Sutra Sthana 20 Maharogadhyaya, there Dhamani Pratajaya, the classification of Kafaja and Anatmaja Vikara has been told as Vimshati. So in then Dhamani Pratajaya is a condition where it is considered as Dhamani Pratajayo Dhamanihi Upalepaha. There is a quote in the Dhamanis. When you come in Charaka Sutra Sthana 27th chapter, there is a reference that Dhamani Pratichayaha Siraja Granthihi. The Siraja Granthi is a formation of thrombus within the blood vessels. I think we all are hearing that the people who are suffering with the corona, who taken treatment admitted in the hospital, they are suffering from connective tissue disorders like avascular necrosis. Recently, a study has came 15 days back. That is because formation of thrombus within the blood vessels. And we also heard that after vaccination, there are so many people died because of after vaccination. There is a chance of ardita, facial paralysis. Why? Because there is a formation of thrombus within the blood vessel. This acts as a avantujanidana, pradhanika hetu. So, Siraja Granthi is a condition where Srutasam Upalepaha, formation of thrombus is Siraja Granthi, which clots in the brain, act as a cerebrovascular accidents, clots in the lungs, pulmonary embolism, clots in the heart, cardiac embolism, clot in the kidney, nephrotic embolism or kidney thrombus, etc. Wherever the comes and blocks, there is a pathology will be causative factor. Then Atipravritti, hyperfunctions of the Srotas, excess flow of the system, then formation of formation of the dosha, or in transporting or excretion, it will be excessive only. So it may be tissue related, organ related, or system related. Hyperplasic activity of the liver, hyperplasia. The more the heart rate, tachycardia. Prameha, the atisara, heart vyadhis come to atipravritta vyadhi. Then Sangha, there is a hypofunction of the Srotas as an obstructive pathology, reduced function, Srotorodha, there is Amavata, Srotorodho, Balabhramsho, Gaurava, Anila Mudata, decrease in activity and cessation of work, complete work will be ceased. So there is a Vata Vriddhi, Karma Vriddhi, Atipravritti, Kampavata, Vata Vriddhi, Karmahani, Apravritti, Pakshaghata. Vata is the common factor in Vruddhavastha. The doshas are altered, there is karma vriddhi, there is a kampavatam. Vata is a common factor in vruddhavata, there is a karmahani, the pakshaghata. Hatvaikam marudam paksham dakshinam vamamevava. Kuryat cheshta nivritti. The cheshta, the activities are retired, nivritti. Ama formation in case of Sangha, Kosthagni and Datvagni become complete mandata. There is a formation of Jvara, Udara and Ashmari. Jvara is also act as for displacement of the Agni, Asya Apakarsaka conditions. Ashmari also. Then Granthi, glandular growth, the presentation within the blood vessels. There is a structural changes is going to happen within the Raktavaha Srotas, which in turn deranges the physiology of the circulation, acts as a arches, thromboid pile mass, dhamani pratisaya, vriddhi of the antra, and any sort of arbuda with the metastasis acts as a granthi, and the shlipada acts as a granthi. Next, Vimargamana, the reverse flow of the dosha or the wrong direction flow other than its original place. Physiological derangement happens first, in it left and untreated, then structural defects is observed. So the Chardi, generally the Pitta is Anulomana, Pitta is treated with Virechana, Bhagandara, fistulas, Shakashata Kamala. For certainly Shakashata Kamala acts as a Sangha and is excessively, there is a regurgitation of the our bile juices towards biliverdin towards the blood. Then Udavarta, Sushita opened 13 types of Udavarta and Amla Pitta. Generally the Pitta is having Katrasa Bhava and become Vidagdhavasta, which has to undergo Amla Bhava and leads to Pitta as a condition. Different sorts of Srotodushti Mula and their karma, what that does generally. Then Tatra Rasadishu Sthaneshu Kupitanam Doshanam Yasmin Sthane Ye Vyathaya Sambhavanti Tanastan Yathavad Anuvyakhyasyaamaha. So very clearly Acharya is saying how the diseases are going to be take place by Rasadishu Sthaneshu Prakupitanam Doshana. The Vata Pitta Kapha will undergo Dushti and takes Sthana Samsriya, Dushta Vata and Rasadi Saptadhatu, Dushta Pitta and Rasadi Saptadhatu, Dushta Kapha and Rasadi Saptadhatu, and Dushta Kapha in Manas, Dushta Kapha in Vata, Manas, Dushta Vata in Manas, and Dushta Pitta in Manas too. So we have Vata dosha in Rasa, causes Vata Jahridroga, Shosha, and Anjena. Why? Because Rasanamitam Sthaulyakarsamcha, Raktaja, if manifested the many pratisaya, hypertension, anemias, that is microcytic anemia, mamsa, fibromyalgia, hyperplasias, excess growth because vayu vibhajeti, medas, atik rukshata, weight loss, asthi, tamapravesha, osteoarthritis and osteoporosis, pakshaghatam, majjagatavata, seizures and cerebrovascular accidents, shukrakshaya, shigra skalana, Prana, Kasa, Shwasa, Hikka, Shosha, Pratighata Visheshena Tasya Vayoho Sarambhasaha. Then Anna and Purisha, Vibandha, Pindikodvyashtana, improper absorption, Grani, Dosha, Udaka, Ativa Trishna, Sweda, Alpasweda, Artava, Anartava and Kashtartava, Stanya, Fenila and Tanu Rukshas of the Stanabhava. Then Pitta Dosha, Rasadosha is Jvara, Pandu, SLE and Klybia, Kamala in ITP as a Rakta Pradushaja, Mamsa, Daha and fibromytosis, Medas as Durgandha Sweda, thyroiditis, Asthi, Varna, osteomyelitis, Majja, demyelination, autoimmune disorders, then Shukravaha, Puya Shukra, Durgandha Shukra, anti-sperm antibodies, Prana, Bhrama, Murcha, Tivrajwara, Anna, and Purisha as a Vidagdha Ajirna, Amlapitta and Atisara, Udaka, Trishna and Daha, Sweda, Durgandhas and Atisweda, Artava, Dushtartava and Dahayukta Artava, Stanya, Puya Mishrita Stanya. And Kafadosha and Rasadi Saptathatu, Rasa, there is a Pandu, Halimaka, metabolic diseases like because of obstruction, Rakta, macrocytic anemia, nutritional deficiency anemias, Mamsa, Galaganda, Adhimams and fibroids, Medas, Sthaulya and obesity, Asthi, Adhyasthi, Adhidanta and osteosarcoma, Majja, Sannipadaja Pandu, along with myeloid leukemias, Shukra, Clibia, Chirat, Shukra Skhalana, there is a hibiscus salmon, then Prana, there is Hridaya Gaurava, Hridaya Pida and Sadhana, Kremja Rudroga can be manifested here because of Kafadushti, Anna and Purisha, there is Amajirna, Grahani Roga, structural defect, Udaka, Shotha, Sweda, Atisweda, hyperperspiration, then Artava, Dushtartava as Univapat, Kafaji Univapats, etc. Then Stanya, Grithita and Picture Stanya. Other diseases are going to be manifested in case of Kavadosha. How to do Pariksha generally, Srotas? So analyze Nidana very clearly. Rogam Ado Parikshatato Anantara Maushadam. You have to examine the Nidana very thorough. Observe the Lakshanas very carefully. The environment of Vata, environment of Pitta and Kapha, or the Samsarga and Sannipata Lakshanas, along with the Upadrava and Arishta. Lakshana, which are Sarvadahika, general in nature, Lakshana, which are Samsthanika or systemic in nature. Generally, we have to differentiate with the fever. The fever is a presenting. When you go to the modern, the fever is a symptom they complain. And in the Ayurveda, the fever is a condition of the Mahavyadhi. What we are appreciating in generally about fever. Pariksha, we have n number of Pariksha. Pariksha Karano hi Kushala Bhavanti, Dvivida Pariksha, Trivida Pariksha, Chaturvida Pariksha, Shadvida Pariksha, Ashtasthana, Dashavidha, Ekadashavidha, and Dvadashavidha Pariksha from different acharyas. And we have general physical examination and systemic examinations respectively. Sapeksha Nidana, go through proper differential diagnosis, do whatever the provisional diagnosis you conclude, then support with the relevant investigations, which are maybe invasive and non-invasive techniques, and conclude with the disease specific and treat accordingly. This is the general practice what we can adopt in case of Srotas Pariksha pertaining to the systemic investigations. So to conclude, the Srotas refers to an anatomico-physiological entity which involves gross and subtle structures. Our body has a whole Srotas. Individual system acts as a Srotas. Every structure of body is a Srotas. The structure and function unit is a Srotas. And each receptor, mechanism, and stimulants are part of the Srotas, and they also as a Srotas. And there are countable and innumerable Srotas. Generally, Srotamayam hi Sharira. With this, I conclude my session. Thank you. Thank you one and all for giving me an opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Students, if you have any doubts, please, you are free to ask. You can keep your mics on and you can directly ask, or else put in the chat box. So you have explained very nicely with deep discussion. Once again, thank you so much, sir, for accepting our request to be a resource person of the national webinar Nidhana Siddhi, and for sharing your valuable knowledge and clearing the concept of Srotas very effectively, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you. I thank the management the principal, vice principal, and department head, and all the staff members for giving me opportunity. I thank my principal for also giving me an opportunity. Is there any queries?
Sir, sorry, sir.
Yes,
One question is there, sir.
please, madam.
Does Ati Pravritti occur only after the Sangha?
There is no rule that Ati Pravritti should occur after Sangha only. Ati Pravritti is separate context, Sangha is separate context.
Okay, sir.
Those two are different entity.
Yes. Yes, sir. Any other doubts?
So we are having two sets of Ati Pravritti and Apravritti rogas. Ati Pravritti rogas are Prameha, Vimshati Prameha. Apravritti rogas are Vimshati Mutraghatas. So Mutra Pitra, Patra Mutraghata together constitutes Apravritti, where lack of urine flow, where excess urine flow, that is Prameha. So Ati Pravritti pathology differs, Apravritti pathology will differs. Bhagavad very clearly specifies. Vimshati Prameha, Vimshati Mutraghata as a Ati Pravritti, Apravritti rogas respectively, Apravritti Karna respectively.
So students, any other doubts? Sir, are Srotas
Srotas, yeah,
while
and that's why generally when you go through the synonyms, the synonym itself stated as Srotas as the Sira, Dhamani, Nadi, Pantha, Marga, etc. Though even though they differ, they are doing the same work on the basis of their functional unit they named, rather than them structure. So when you go to one big manufacturing unit, whole becomes Srotas. We can't name this is not Srotas. This is a part of Srotas only, but its function is different. The thing is, it is a attributing for Srotas. So Nadi, the Pantha, the Marga, the Ayana, the Rasayanya, those are always attributing for the as a conglomerative function, samudayatmaka work for the Srotas. That's why we can say the Srotas is a synonym for Nadi, Dhamani, Sira, etc. It is not different, it is the same, but structurally they may differ, but functionally they will do in a cohabitation work only. And their own question maybe there, my madam, I believe. Mahesh.
Madesh, yes,
Yeah,
Madesh, sir, I hope your doubt is clear. Thank you,
yeah,
sir.
sir, while explaining this, yeah.
Yes, sir. That's what the question was. While explaining the Srotodushti and Vaigunya, you told Srotodushti is a structural deformity. But while explaining the Srotodushti Prakara, only functional aspects, like how whether it is a structural deformity or a functional, like that the question is.
No, Srotodushti, once a Srotodushti happened at a structural deformity only. That's why we are having Charaka in Grahani, he said Grahani Doshajan Gadan. Grahani Dosh is a the functional arrangement. It alarms us to not to take proper, not to take heavy foods and all. Even though person is taking excessively food, it is always going to cause a structural derangement. So absorption will be hampered. So leads to it may be ulcerative colitis, Crohn disease, or any malabsorption because of some derangement in the village of the micro village of the intestine. First, there is a alarm always. There is a warning by the body. Immediately fever, those are under Purrupa Avastha. Whatever the alarming is observing by the body is all are Purrupa Avastha. Whence, if even though in Purupavastha you are not overcome, then leads to Rupavastha, that is Vyakti. Purupavastha is Nara Samshriya. Vyakti Avastha is Rupavastha, where complete manifestation. Tad Vyadhir Darshanam Vyaktihi. Complete manifestation of signs and symptoms is Vyakti. It is Rupa. In Purupavastha, those are not completely well formed, those are not having enough strength. If you follow proper Pathya, if you follow proper taken care of yourself, definitely there is a dosha that comes down.
Sir, the next question is, why did Acharya Sushruta not mention Astivah and Majjavaha Srotas?
So generally Srotas, why he not mentioned? Because once Srotas is a is a unit form, it is a there is no gap in the Srotas. But when we say if there is a radius fracture or ulnar fracture, whole bones are not broken. Only stipulated bones are, or the target bones are to be targeted. That's why it is not generally specified. It is only for target oriented he was going to express. That's why he not told asthi, majja and sweda. Sweda is also a byproduct of medo dhatu. That's why he left the medas. But for majja and asthi is concerned, that generally it is not that much specifically he told, because it is sthanika dushti is the only consideration of as per Sudacharya.
Another one question is there, sir.
Hmm.
So does we take Vaigunya as
That's why
Purva
that's why I told. In
Srotodushti to Rupa?
what is the definition of sthana samshraya purupa? When you define purupa, you come to know what is the kavaigunya. See, in sthana samshraya and purupa will run very parallelly. Sthana samshrayana kritaha bhavi vyadhi prabodhanam. The sthana samshrayana is a condition where it is going to express the pururupa avastha. To manifest pururupa avastha, what we require? Sangha and kavaigunya. So, Pururupavastha can be considered as Khavaigunya. For Pururupavastha, we required Sangha and Khavaigunya. Then only there is a Sthana Samshraya. That's why immediately fever won't manifest. You start feeling, you are sitting in class, you start feeling burning of the eyes, you start feeling uneasiness, you start feeling headache, you start feeling myalgia, you start feeling gastric irritation. Then these are the purvavastha. Even though you won't take rest, even though you won't drink hot water, you won't drink proper Pittarasa Pradhana Dravya, then leads to Jara. This is how the Purupa and the Sthana Samsara can be understood with the Khavaigunya.
Any other doubts? So now we have completed all the sessions of Nidhana Siddhi 2022. So once again, I thank all the resource persons for sharing their precious knowledge and valuable time with us. And thank you so much, sir. Gratitude is the fairest blossom which spring from the soul. Every celebration is an experience. The external fades away and the internal echoes in the most depth of our hearts. We are reminded the events like this one are milestones on the journey of the life and reminders of the God's fidelity all through. As we come to the close of our valedictory ceremony, I invite Dr. Arun Havinal sir, academic in charge, to propose the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon to all. It's my privilege to propose the vote of thanks and acknowledge the contribution of those who have worked really hard to make this occasion successful and memorable. First of all, I would like to thank Almighty Lord Dhanvantri for making this event a resounding success with his blessings and grace, and we are able to make this event what it was. First of all, I thank Shri SB Ghatge sir, President DBATs, Mr. Amit Ghatge sir, Chairman SBGAMCH, and Dr. Mansi Ghatge ma'am, Managing Director of SBGAMCH, for their valuable support to conduct such events. Thank you, sir and ma'am. I extend really hearty vote of thanks to our chief guest, Dr. Nagaraj Pujar sir, Professor and HOD Department of Roganidana, SDM College of Ayurveda and Hospital Udupi, for accepting our invitation from his busy schedules and motivating our delegates with their keynote address. Thank you, sir. My gratitude to all the eminent speakers from different parts of the country for making themselves available to us to be the resource person at Nidhana Siddhi 2022. First of all, Dr. Krishna Kulloli, HOD, Associate Professor, Department of Roganidana, Parul Institute of Ayurveda, Parul University, Gujarat, who highlighted the critical analysis of Shat Kriya Kala with special reference to the Nidana Panchaka. I thank you, ma'am. Dr. Gopal Krishna Acharya, Professor, Department of Roganidana, SDM College of Ayurveda, Hassan, who effectively explained the topic on pathological and clinical understanding of Avarna. Thank you so much, sir. Dr. Mahesh Hirulal, Associate Professor, SDM College of Ayurveda, Hassan, who explained etiopathogenesis of Annavaha Srotodushti Vikara with special reference to GI disorders. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your knowledge. And Dr. Kishorkumar Rajapurohit, Associate Professor, Department of Roganidana, SJGAMC Koppal, who extensively highlighted about the insight of Srotodushti and its clinical importance. Thank you so much, sir. Today we had an opportunity to hear your thoughts, and this will surely be going to encourage us. Your thoughts have enlightened the minds of all the delegates. My gratitude to all the speakers for gracing the occasion and sharing their knowledge. I take this opportunity to thank our beloved principal, Dr. S.V. Gaddi Shetty sir, and the vice principal, Dr. Advi Sharkeri sir, for their constant support and being the backbone for us to conduct such event under the guidance. Thank you so much, sir. My special thanks to Dr. Samir Naik sir, HOD, Professor, Department of Roganidana, Dr. Anil Kurangi sir, Reader, Department of Roganidana, and Dr. Ashwini Kudrimat ma'am, Assistant Professor, Department of Roganidana, whose constant effort to conduct this event successfully. Thank you, sir and ma'am. I also thank my gratitude towards Dr. Bhuvaneshwari ma'am, Dr. Shilpa Hiramat ma'am, Dr. Rupa ma'am, and Dr. Rajeshwari ma'am for introducing our speaker to the delegates. Thank you. I thank all the delegates and our students who have attended this webinar and without whom this event would have not been as successful. Thank you all. I thank Dr. Vishal, Mr. Anand, and Mr. Sandeep for their technical support for conduction of this webinar. Last but not the least, I thank all the teaching, non-teaching hospital staff and those who have contributed to make this national webinar Nidana Siddhi 2022 a grand success. Thank you one and all.
So the feedback forms links will be circulated in the WhatsApp group, and after submitting the form, online certificates will be mailed to your email addresses. So all of you please fill that feedback form, which will be sent in the immediately after this logout. We will send that form. You have to fill it and get the certificates. Thank you all.